Okay, we got another bird coming into the canyon. Just talked to the ranger. I had a question for him. If heat rises, why is Death Valley, the lowest point in North America, so hot? And he explained it because the valley is surrounded by a mountain range, so none of the heat can, I guess not rise, but it's spread out side to side. It's trapped by all the mountains. So the next morning, the heat's still there from yesterday. You got yesterday's heat still compounding, so it gets a running start at the next day. He said their lowest high in the summer, we're talking like first thing in the morning when the sun's coming up, was 107 degrees. That's the lowest. Behind me is what they call the Artists Palette. And it's the red and the turquoise color and the white and all the different colors of those rocks. The different colors are caused from a volcanic eruption 5 million years ago, and it altered the color of it. Here, I'll give you guys a quick 360 so you can see what I'm seeing. There she is, full of energy. We're at Zabrinczski Point, and it's a paved trail, so if you're in a wheelchair, you can get up there. Why are all the lookouts uphill? At least it's doing the backwards walk. How's the backwards walk working?
It helps.
What's it helping with?
When you turn back around, you feel relief.
Lisa, how many steps we got?
Over 8,000.
Over 8,000 already. Well, we made it up to the top of the lookout. It was like a 25% grade.
Well, it's been surprisingly pretty.
Yeah, it has. I thought it was just going to be a barren desert of nothingness. Turned out to be pretty good. Check it out. This whole area up here has been shaped by volcanoes and rain runoff. You can see down in there some of the trails where the water has ran down. Way up to Dantes View. It's got a lot of road restrictions here. Nothing over 25 feet, no RVs, no buses, no towed vehicles. So we're trying to take a bet if we'll see any up here. So stay tuned. There you go, there's one. That was only like 2 minutes later after we just talked. There's a camper, Lisa. Unbelievable.
I don't know how we got up that hill.
We're at Dantes Peak. Check out the view. That's the valley of Death Valley. You can see the road down there that we were on before. It's significantly colder and it's very windy up here. We had to put our jackets back on. Yeah, this place is enormous. Check this out. That's our dogs. Yes, they are talking. Remember the sign that said no RVs? You get basically a 360 degree-ish view. And what I mean by that is that mountain right there is in your way, but if you can climb to the top of it and then you'll have a complete 360. We're not doing that. But anyways, look at the view. And I'll give you a spin around. And then down there you can see the salt basin from this morning. Check it out behind me. Absolutely stunning view. So far, Death Valley has not disappointed. I can't believe how much cooler it is up here.
What, you excited? You want to go see Dantes Peak?
Day 2, had a good night's sleep last night, so we're heading back into the park. We've got 3 things to see for today. They're spread out really far on these. The furthest one is, I think, the crater, which is all the way up to the top part of Death Valley. We're going to see that first. It's some kind of volcanic eruption that blew up, so it's a giant crater. We'll check that out. And then there's some charcoal giant huts or something that's all the way down at the bottom corner of the park. So a lot of driving today. We got the girls all loaded up. You guys all loaded? Wish they had more stuff to do for the dogs at national parks, but you can't take the dogs in it on any of the trails. We've got a problem that developed since we've gotten out here in the desert area, and I'll show you. I'm scared to touch it, Tara. We've got this protector that's supposed to be keeping the seats protected. And what happens is the dogs, well, especially Anna, keeps going back and forth. And it's like a balloon on your head, building up static. So every time she comes over to give us a kiss, she gets a zap on her nose. Now she's really reluctant for us to pet her or anything. We're at our first stop, the crater. This is a volcanic eruption that exploded, and that's where all the black that you see all out there is what landed from this explosion. 64 miles from camp, and we're staying in Betty, or Beauty. It's quite a drive to get up here. If you have 4-wheel drive, I recommend you do the racetrack. It's only another 30 miles off-road. How is it?
Kind of neat.
Anna's not happy, but you can see the crater's half a mile across, 500 feet deep. And you can walk down there if you were highly motivated, which I am not. The lava that was in there superheated up the moisture in the water in the rocks and turned it into steam, and boom, it blew this whole thing out. I didn't realize that Death Valley had so much volcanic activity that helped shape this area. Learn something new every day. So I did decide to come up here. And I thought it was gonna have a plaque saying something, but that's all it says. There is the big crater. Right there, and then this is the small crater. You can see Lisa down there. Look at the size. There's the crater, right? And then right there's the little Honda Fit. That's the northernmost part of Death Valley, where you see the mountain range. And then that's also where those rocks that move are, way over there in the distance. This is a pretty remote location. Give you guys a spin around from up here. Now you can see behind me where the black stops and turns into the beige, the tan. That's where the area is, where all the black is what landed out of the eruption. So what do you think, Lisa? A good hike to do in August? We'll come back, right? Can't you read the sign? It says no dogs. No dogs, not even out here where there's nothing. I'm scared to touch you. You're gonna get zapped. Oh, sorry. Got a discharge. The next stop was going to be the charcoal hive things, but we're at Vista Point. Apparently we missed a turnoff somewhere to go to the charcoal things, and I'm pretty sure that the name of the road is different than on the map than the sign said. So here's Vista Point, and it looks like just a giant wash in there from erosion. I'll give you guys like a 360. No. Did it? We may go and try to drive the dirt road to get out to that point way out there. See if it's got a better view. Here it comes. It's coming down in the... That was an F something or other. Flew down in the canyon. The first one came right over our heads, like really close. It was loud. You can smell the jet fuel. Dogs are shaking. Wow. You okay? You're shaking. Okay, we got another bird coming into the canyon. I can't even begin to tell you how loud that is. And I can't put my hands over my ears. I'm holding this camera. Incredible. Okay, Lisa was talking to a couple that she met out there at the point, and they said that the nickname for this canyon is called Star Wars Canyon because the military base, there's an Air Force base around here somewhere, practiced maneuvers of dropping in over top of that ridge down into the canyon and then down into Death Valley into the desert floor. So it's kind of like a routine experience. But they said that they've been here for 2-3 hours sitting out there at the point and has never seen an airplane do that. But today they got a treat because that thing dropped in about 4 times. The first time, which I didn't have the camera on, I didn't even know it was coming. It flew right over our heads. And I swear it was like literally probably like 20 yards, it seemed like, above our heads. And it was turned sideways. He was making a turn, came right out of the canyon and came right over. And we could smell the jet fuel or the exhaust or something. It smelled like fuel. And it was unbelievably loud. I swear my ear feels like it's bleeding because it was just so loud. Never had that happen. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. Scared the dogs really bad. They've have now calmed down a little bit, but would not want to do that to them on a regular basis. Well, we're back at the RV. We had a pretty good time at Death Valley. There's lots of stuff to see there. I really thought it was just going to be a barren desert pit of sand, but it had a lot of different views and we got to see a lot of stuff. I think the biggest highlight was the fighter jets coming out and flying down in the canyon and flying right over top of us, even though it scared the dogs very bad. But we had a really good time. And I appreciate you watching the video. If you like to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, appreciate a subscription if you want to see more videos like this or other things that are RV related like repairs and upgrades. Alright, have a good day and we'll see you at the next one, which is going to be Welburn Gourd Farm. Want a carrot? You ever seen a dog eat carrots? Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to edit and Lisa's petting the dogs. Remember I was telling you in the car this afternoon about being out in the issue that we have now since we've been out in the desert, that the dogs have been building up some serious static. Apparently it's not just in the car. Look at this. Lisa can make her hair move with the static. It's like Einstein.
It's giving her a really weird hairdo.
Ooh. Talk like a human.